Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the West Hall of Institut Teknologi Bandung. Today, Wednesday, November 13, 2019, we are very grateful to welcome all of you on public lecture by President Director of PT L'Oreal Indonesia, Mr. Umesh Phadke, about digital beauty technology. This event is a part of Studium Generale subjects. To begin this event, please rise to sing the national anthem Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we will have a speech from Vice Rector of Research and Organization of Institut Teknologi Bandung. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Profesor Irawati.
Mr. Umesh Phadke, President Director of PT L'Oreal Indonesia, PT L'Oreal Indonesia team, my dear colleagues, my students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On behalf of the ITB's rector, who cannot be here due to his duty to attend a meeting with our Minister of Education in Jakarta, I feel honored to be here to welcome Mr. Umesh Phadke, the President Director of PT L'Oreal Indonesia. Rector Professor Kadarsah Suryadi apologized for his absence and send his best regard to you, Mr. Phadke. Thank you for spending your precious time with us here in ITB. We always see involvement of industries in education systems is important. We look forward to listen to your presentation on the progress of L'Oreal Indonesia, its technology, human capital, and strategies. I hope the students can learn what is important to learn and to prepare in order to get ready for working world in general and to become part of L'Oreal Indonesia. This lecture is a part of KU 4078 class, Studium Generale, that aims to broaden students' knowledge about working area and culture. This semester, more than 600 students take this class. So students, please use this opportunity which doesn't come every day to your door to learn and take your chance with PT L'Oreal Indonesia. Who knows that your future will start today. Once again, thank you, Mr. Umesh Phadke. I hope you enjoy your time here as much as we appreciate your sharing. Thank you, and please give applause to Mr. Umesh Phadke.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to continue with public lecture by President Director of PT L'Oreal Indonesia, Mr. Umesh Phadke, about digital beauty technology. This session will be moderated by Secretary of Administration and System Information of Student Affairs of ITB, Dr. Gantina Rahma Putri. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Umesh Phadke and Dr. Gantina Rahma Putri.
Yes, please.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gantina Rahma Putri. I'm a member of Algebra Research Group and Student Affairs ITB. I'm pleased to be your moderator now. Today we are pleased to welcome Mr. Umesh Phadke, a very special guest from L'Oreal Indonesia. Okay, I'll read his resume. Umesh Phadke is a President Director of PT L'Oreal Indonesia. He joined L'Oreal 8 years ago on 2011. Prior joining the company, Umesh has over 26 years of sales, marketing, and general management experience across 4 countries. He is proficient in 6 languages, including Bahasa Indonesia and Thai. Starting in 1982, Umesh has had a successful career with various multinational corporations, where he held various commercial and marketing position across India, Thailand, and the Asian region, managing large multinational brands including L'Oréal Paris, Garnier, Lancôme, Biotherm, and Maybelline, and Vichy. Makeup brand. Okay.
All kinds of brands.
He started his L'Oréal journey on Thailand, where he and his talented team have continued to build a very successful L'Oréal subsidiary for 5 years. In May 2018, Umesh Phadke joined L'Oréal Indonesia. Okay. His expertise ranged from commercial leadership, brand management, including strategic planning and activation, organization design and recruitment, to regulatory affairs management. Besides an engineer and MBA-based training, Umesh is also an active trainer for leadership, coaching, and change management. He was a regular speaker at local universities and business conferences in various countries. This is a good point. Umesh is married to Aditi. Indonesia?
No.
No. And they have 2 children, Shreya and Abhimanyu, with 2 dogs, Biscuit and Gary. Umesh is also an active traveler, street photographer, and writer. His pictures have been exhibited at the Indian Culture Center in Bangkok, and bought by enthusiasts and collectors. Okay. His travelogue has been published in travel magazine and newspapers. As a passionate supporter of children's education, all the proceeds from his work on photography go towards supporting educational charities. You're very generous. And today he will be sharing with us his expert opinion on digital beauty technology. With that, I ask you to give your full attention to Mr. Phadke and help me in welcoming him to the stage. Mr. Phadke.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Assalamualaikum semuanya. Nama saya Umesh Phadke. I will show off my bahasa a little bit before I go back to English. But nama saya Umesh Phadke. Saya orang asli dari India, tapi saya lahir di Arabia. I grew up there for 16 tahun. Jadi itu Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh is very, very normal for me. I've heard it almost all my life. And then after that, I moved back to India. I studied in India for a few years. And I have now been in ASEAN for 20 years. As Ba was telling you, I've been in Indonesia now, sudah 3 tahun. And Bandung feels like second home this year, because I have come more to Bandung, I have come more to ITB than I have gone anywhere else in Indonesia. So it's always an honor to come to. It is always an honor to come to the #1 university of Indonesia and meet the future leaders, the future of the growth of Indonesia. So thank you very much, Ibu Rector, Ibu Vice Rector, thank you very much for inviting me. And thank you very much for attending in such a large group. The picture over there is kind of scary. So I didn't know if you saw that picture and said, ooh, big scary guy with a beard, maybe not interesting. Imagine someone like me talking about cosmetics and all the women are saying, what does he know about cosmetics? But maybe I know a little bit, and if I don't know much, we have a lot of beautiful young ladies who are going to tell you a lot more. First, I have some bad news, and then I have good news. Okay. The bad news is that, the room went silent with bad news. Okay, the bad news is that every one of you were supposed to get a bag of L'Oreal products, but the truck that was carrying those bags was stolen. Too bad. But the good news is that we managed to get 600 new goodie bags for you. So every one of you is going to get a bag of L'Oreal products at the end of this session, okay? So there is good news and there is bad news, and there's always, so thank you very much, Yanita and the team for having arranged that. So I'm going to spend about 40 minutes talking to you about innovation and about how L'Oreal does innovation. And then I'll open for questions. Please feel free to ask me any questions you have. I will be around until some time, so you can always ask me questions, and then you can collect my card and phone number and send me messages when you want. So let's start quickly. That's me. I told you a little bit about myself. I'm a big fan, by the way, of Mahabharat, which I'm sure all of you know. So my son is Abhimanyu, okay, and my dog is Ghatotkacha. So I'm a big fan of Mahabharata. And in my office, for those of you who come to my office, you'll see there's a very large painting of Arjuna. So I'm a big fan of Mahabharata. So that's just a little bit about myself. So I'm going to talk to you about today how brands stay relevant in, for 100. L'Oreal is a company that has existed for 110 years. 110 years. And we've stayed relevant for 110 years. Imagine, there was a woman in France 110 years ago. She bought L'Oreal hair color. And then from there on until now, women around the world have been buying L'Oreal products, and the brand is still relevant. It's relevant to my daughter. It is relevant to my wife. It is relevant to my mother. And it will be relevant for women who will come generations down. How do we stay relevant, especially in a digital age where things are changing so fast? So that's what. Now, this is some theory, which I have to give theory because, I studied theory a few years ago. but theory is important. So there are 4 types of brands here. Okay, there are customer-obsessed brands, brands that are completely obsessed about what does the customer want. And my example of my favorite brand for customer obsession is Toyota. My son asked me, Baba, we should buy a BMW. Baba, we should buy a Mercedes. And I have never owned, in the past 20 years, any car other than Toyota. Never owned any car other than Toyota. I always had a Toyota. I had a Toyota Vios, I had a Toyota Corolla, I had a Toyota Camry, I had a Toyota Fortuner, and now I have a Toyota Alphard, and I have a Toyota. And you know what about Toyota? I have never gone to the front of the Toyota to open the bonnet. I have never seen inside the engine. I'm an engineer, but I've never had to look inside the Toyota, because all they are obsessed with is how comfortable is the consumer when she's or he is driving the car. What does the consumer want inside the car? They're not, regular consumers don't want to go in the front and tinker with the cars. Customer obsession. Ruthlessly pragmatic. My favorite brand is Dettol. Everyone here knows Dettol, right? Anything happens in the house, the first thing the mother is going to do is get some Dettol and rub it. Someone falls sick in the house, she's going to put Dettol in the water and mop the floors. A very pragmatic brand, extremely connected to consumers, always there, reliable for customers. Pervasively innovative. I did not believe 5 years ago that I would give an example of Windows as being an innovative brand. We all use Windows, and we all hate Windows. The blue screen of death, right? Your computer has hanged. Important presentation. You have an important presentation to Ibu Vice Rector in 15 minutes. You're setting it up, and suddenly the computer hangs and it says, beginning physical dump of memory. And then you're saying you're frozen. I never thought I would say Windows is an innovative brand. But look at the way Windows has reinvented itself, gone onto the cloud, and become relevant to all of us. Today, I am using Windows on my Android phone, on my Windows laptop, on my Surface, at my Mac at home. I can use Windows anywhere I want. I could go take one of the computers from you, log in, and use all my documents simply because they have transformed themselves to being a cloud company. By the way, Satya Nadella is the CEO of Windows, and his latest book, his biography, is a wonderful read. I would strongly encourage all of you to read that. And of course, the fourth one is a brand all of us love, all of us know, and it's Apple. An interesting story about Apple. I was in Iran, okay? Wonderful country, beautiful, beautiful country, great people. In the news, you hear all the time, Iran is fighting with the US, right? US is cursing Iran, Iran is cursing US. They're saying, we'll nuke you, they'll say, we'll bomb you. They're fighting with each other all the time. I landed in Iran, and I sat with my guide, and I asked him, which is the most popular phone in Iran? So the guide tells me, do you want to know which is the best-selling phone, or do you want to know which is the most popular phone? You see the difference? The best-selling phone and the most popular phone. So he says, if you ask me which is the best-selling phone, that is Samsung. Which is the most popular phone? That is Apple. You see? That's the difference between a love brand and a popular brand. Right? Samsung is number one in terms of market share, but in terms of mind share, it's Apple. He says, I'm saving money so I can buy a second-hand Apple phone. And that's what Apple has done to itself. That's what innovation has given Apple, which is why at one time it became the most valuable company on earth. Okay? What is innovation? Right? Is new technology an innovation? Of course it is. Is new product an innovation? Yes. New packaging, new format, new size. And for those of you who use lipstick over here, is a new color an innovation? Yes. All of this is innovation. We sell Garnier face cream in Indonesia. We sell Garnier face cream in Indonesia in various formats. We sell it in a jar, we sell it in a tube, we sell it in sachet. Every format has been an innovation. 20 years ago, sachets of cream were not available because that technology was not available to fill cream in a sachet, which is why only rich women could use face cream. The others used powder, badak, or they used oil, or they used some body cream or something like that. Facial moisturizer was not available to them. Today, facial moisturizer is available to everyone. We, L'Oreal, we sell 50 million sachets every year. 50 Lima Pulu Juta sachet of Garnier every year. Because millions of women in Indonesia who cannot afford a big jar or a tube are using that sachet. For them, that is innovation. Okay? A lot of times we think of innovation and we think of Apple iPhone 11 Pro, 512 GB. That's with A2 chip, that's innovation. AirPods, that's innovation. Ferrari, that's innovation. Innovation can be very basic, very simple. A lipstick with new colors. You know, everyone thinks of lipstick as red. We launched a range of lipstick which was in bold colors, black, blue, yellow, and that's innovation because that allows people to do something different. So that's innovation. So all these are innovations. The key is, in my mind, there are two things. First is the consumer at the heart of everything. To start with what are the consumer needs, what are the consumer desires, and then to constantly transform yourself as a company, as a corporation, as a person, to be able to meet those innovation needs. And the two skill sets required for that, first is listening. To be able to listen to the consumer, to the market, to what's going on, and to have the courage to break what is working. This is working right now, let's just stick with that and let's not do anything new and continue doing that. That is the surefire way to death. If you continue doing exactly what you're doing without paying attention to what's going on outside, without paying attention to what's happening in the market, you're surely going to die. So let me show you one example. Everyone knows this? What is this? What is this? Film. Kodak is film. Anyone here has used film? Okay, maybe 5% of the population who have raised their hands. They're possibly above 40. No. I still use film. I love film. I have 7 film cameras. I shoot with film regularly. But once I finish shooting the film, it takes me 3 weeks to get the prints. Because in Jakarta, there are only 2 places where film is processed. So I have to wait for my friend to come collect the film roll from me, go away. And what do I do with the film? The film gets processed, I get the negative, then he converts them into digital files. So I go from analog to digital. Okay? So Kodak. But Kodak, does the company exist today? It does not exist today. Kodak does not exist. In New York, there was an area called Kodakville, which means Kodak Village. Because Kodak was at one time the #1 film company in the world. In fact, they were the only, almost like the only film company in the world. They were so big that they had to set up a village. It was like Kampung Kodak in New York. Everyone who worked for Kodak lived there. They were their factory, they had their suppliers, they had canteens, they had restaurants, they had everything working for them over there. And then the film business started declining because digital came in. Okay, digital came in. And what did Kodak do? Kodak said, oh no, digital is not good, people will never like it, people want to have physical copy of the photo, they want to frame it, hang it on the wall, they will never use it. Then few years later they said, yeah, okay, people want to print the photo, we will change from a film company to a printing company. And they started printing shops, they started printers, they did all kinds of things sticking to their thing of film. And do you know who invented the digital camera? Who invented the digital camera? The first digital camera was invented by these guys. They invented the first digital camera. The first digital camera was this big. It required 2 men to push it around, and it gave you a picture that was that small, where you could not tell the difference between your face and an ant. They made the first digital camera. And today they don't exist because digital cameras killed them. And I'll give you another example. Everyone knows this? What is this? This is not a film company anymore. This is a digital camera company. How many of you here use Fuji cameras? Okay, few enthusiasts. Okay. Fuji cameras are really good. Fuji Micro Four Thirds lens, great form factor, very nice. They've reinvented themselves. They still make film, but they've reinvented themselves into a digital company, and they're coming back and they're really gaining share in the market, and they're making a place in people's minds. And some of my friends who are really good photographers are using their cameras. Two companies, both in film, started at the same time, around the same time, had great leadership shares. One is dead, one is not. What did they do? These guys reinvented themselves. These guys killed the business that they were in and said, no, this is not the business. This is today. Tomorrow, this business will not be relevant. We have to move on. Okay. So that's, two real world examples. One more nice example. How many here use or have a Nokia phone right now? The person who has a Nokia phone, please stand up and show it to me. Please stand up and show me your Nokia phone. No? No one? No, not that one. That's a smartphone. I want to see that kind of Nokia phone. Okay? That Nokia phone. No one has it. Okay? Do you know at one time, Nokia was the only mobile phone company in the world? Right? My first mobile phone was a Nokia. My second mobile phone was a Nokia. My third mobile phone was a Nokia. My fourth mobile phone was a Nokia. I think my sixth mobile phone was an Apple. And after that, it was all downhill from there. Nokia is dead, finished. Right? Nokia rose, became number one, and then died. Nokia knew how to reinvent themselves. Do you know what was Nokia's original business? Nokia's original business was wood. They're a Norwegian company. They used to be in the business of wood slats, and they had a business of electronics. And they started doing electronic communication and then built the empire of Nokia. And today that business is dead, finished. Okay? They did not reinvent themselves. They did not stay relevant. Okay? So we have to innovate. We have to stay relevant. What do we have now? Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about who we are. If you haven't heard this, I'll go very quickly on this. We are a pure player in beauty. So when you think of consumer goods companies, okay, you ask anyone in the street, name consumer goods companies, they will tell you Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Mondelez, Indo Food, Wings, blah, 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 blah. They won't think of L'Oreal. L'Oreal is a consumer goods company. But the reason that we are different from all these others is because we are a pure player in beauty. We play only in beauty care, and we have been in beauty care for 110 years, and that's the only business we do. That's the only business we do. I sit at a table of CEOs of FMCG companies, consumer products companies, and everyone looks at me with envy, saying, there's the guy from L'Oreal. Oh, wow. When he talks to women, they just look at him and say, wow, L'Oreal. Because we are a beauty company. We are a pure player in beauty. Okay? 110 years dedicated to beauty. Oops. Okay. We had humble beginnings. You know? This is the guy who founded L'Oreal. His name is Eugène Schweller. He was a poor boy, born in Paris, but he was a smart boy, so he studied chemistry from a good university and started experimenting with chemistry in the basement of his apartment. Used to do experiments he was interested in hair color. And before his time, hair color was like paint. Women painted their hair with hair color. Okay? So the moment they went out and it rained, the color ran. The moment they started sweating, the color ran. Women here who use not waterproof makeup, you will know. If you go out or if you're sweating or if you cry, the mascara will run, the eyeliner will run, right? So that's what used to happen with hair color. Then he invented hair color that went inside the hair, fixed the color molecule inside the hair, and voila. He had a business plan. He started selling the brand from salon to salon, named it L'Oreal, and today we have the world's largest beauty care company. These are all the advertisements that he made when he was the CEO of the company. That's him sitting in his lab. That's him sitting in the L'Oreal lab working on stuff. So that's our history. And today we are still relevant today. Starting from those humble beginnings in the basement of his apartment. Today we are a global company. There is not a place on earth where I go and tell people I work for L'Oreal and people don't know about me. I have a test for all of you. Go to any airport in the world. any airport in the world, the smallest airport in the world, and I guarantee you, you will see 2 advertisements on that airport. 2 advertisements. One will be Samsung, because Samsung is present at all airports. And the second one will be L'Oreal. I guarantee it. You find me an airport which does not have these 2 advertisements, and you come and join me, I'll give you a job. Okay? Because you would have traveled enough to see many places in the world, you'll be wise, and then you'll be good enough to join L'Oreal, so that's fine. But I guarantee you, our brand has international, universal recognition. Why have we done that? Now, this is our history in Indonesia. We've been in Indonesia for 40 years. 33 years we've been manufacturing in Indonesia. It's very important for ITB because a lot of engineers here, a lot of men here, and a lot of people think, oh, cosmetics company is only for women, not for men. First thing, you can see I'm a man. I'm standing here in a cosmetics company. I sell a lot of makeup. I enjoy selling makeup. So it's great fun working with women and especially talking to them when they're talking about makeup and all that. But of course, we are also a science-based company. We manufacture all of that. So we have the world's largest factory in Jababeka. So recently, last year, I think a group of ITB students and I think the rector and a few other professors visited our factory, and we have a very, very world-class international factory in Jababeka. We have 15 brands present here. Globally, the list is 36 brands, so we have 21 brands that can come into Indonesia. And, students from ITB could be the management trainees or could be the brand managers who would launch one of those. Oh, by the way, I want to recognize over here the team from Brandstorm. Johan, can you please stand up, all of you? So, please give a big round of applause to the winners of Brandstorm, the team from ITB. Come on, that's not a big round of applause. Bigger round of applause. Yeah. Just to inform you, Brandstorm is a global competition that L'Oreal runs for university students from all over the world. 60 countries participate, about 4,000 students participate in the contest, and this year, interestingly, one country won the first prize, and that country was Indonesia. Indonesia won the first prize globally with 4,000 students competing. These 3 kids went to Paris, made their presentation in a hall as much larger than this, and when our CEOs were asking them the questions, they very confidently answered the questions, and they won the first prize, and now they're going to Paris to bring their idea to life. So they're going to work in Station F and bring the idea to life. So at this stage in their life, they're going to go and do almost something like a startup. So their idea, we're going to give them money, and they're going to bring their idea to life. So just a very important thing. So if you join Brandstorm, you could be the next person sitting in that seat. You could be the next group carrying that cup. And you could be sitting in Paris and bringing your idea to life. So just saying. All right, how do we do things differently in L'Oreal? So first, I want you to, from this whole slide, I want you to remember universalization. So every time someone says L'Oreal, everyone thinks of France. Eiffel Tower, Paris, Louvre, Champs-Élysées, etc., etc. That's true, and we are a French company, and we are from France, and we are very proud of it, but we think of ourselves as a universal company. We are relevant to everyone around the world because we sell our products to every man and woman of all gender, all diversity, all ages around the world, and we want them to experience the best in beauty care all over the world. But that cannot be done if we think of ourselves as a French company being in France. That can only be done if we are off the place where we are from, and which is why when we are in Indonesia, we are off Indonesia. We develop products for Indonesian consumers, make them relevant to Indonesian consumers. Our marketing is made relevant to Indonesian consumers. Our communication is relevant to Indonesian consumers. Our connections are relevant to Indonesian consumers. And all that makes us a universal company. So it's important to remember universalization. So if you remember one word about L'Oreal, remember L'Oreal is a universal company. It appeals to everyone around the world. Okay, so 3 big pillars of our existence. I've already spoken about our brands. We have 36 brands, and I could spend the next 10 minutes talking about all of them, but you can speak to me privately about it. Consumer centricity, which is keeping the consumer at the heart of everything and understanding what are her needs, her desires, her expectations from beauty care, and making sure that our products are delivering to those expectations. And the third one, which is the latest one, which is the latest transformation that the company has taken on, is digital innovation. Let me take a few minutes to talk about this. You know, when you think of consumer products, the first thing you think about, and you are digital natives, but in the past it was, when you say consumer products, iklan di TV, right? I grew up, I joined consumer products, and the most important thing you did in your life was develop product and put a TV ad, because it was called spray and pray marketing. You understand the meaning? Spray your money and then pray that the consumer will buy your products. It's called spray and pray marketing. You put TV ads everywhere, you put posters everywhere, you distributed your product everywhere. So it was all spray everything everywhere and then go back and pray. Oh, inshallah, my product will be sold. That was spray and pray marketing. The world has completely changed. Okay? Today, less and less people are watching TV. People are watching audio-visual content, but they are watching it where? They're watching it on YouTube, in their hand, on Facebook, everywhere. So everything, it's become an audience of one. And that allows marketers to target people individually, right? Based on the device you're carrying, the marketer knows whether you're a male or a female. The marketer knows what your interests are, what you watch, and based on that, what you are likely to be buying or what you're likely to buy, and advertising can be served to you, unique to yourself. In the old days, you watched the Cinetron. You, your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your grandfather, your maid, everyone sat together and watched the Cinetron in the house. If you had a dog, even the dog was sitting and watching Cinetron. Everyone was seeing the same advertising. Whether you were interested or not, you saw the advertising for Indomie, for Indo Milk, for L'Oreal, for Sunsilk, for Ponds, for whatever. And people turned off saying, oh, this is not relevant to me. Today, each of us are watching advertising that is relevant to us. So I get served advertising for a lot of photography equipment because I'm constantly looking at photography equipment. My colleagues who are interested in makeup are getting served advertising for makeup. When each of us opens our Lazada homepage or our Shopee homepage, the homepage we see is different because what we have bought, each of us, is different, and so the algorithm is serving different things to different people. So this world has changed, and we have transformed ourselves along with it. So our brands and business models, I'll quickly go through this. We have 35 global brands, and all these brands were acquired over a period of time. You can see over here, all these brands were acquired. So we've had American brands, Kiehl's, Maybelline, Urban Decay, NYX. We have French brands, of course, L'Oreal, Lancôme, Garnier, etc. We have Japanese brand, Shu Uemura. We have a Chinese brand, Yusai. And very recently, we acquired a Korean brand. All the women here and some of the men will be interested in K-beauty, right? You must be interested in K-beauty, Korean brands. Nature Republic, Innisfree, Cosrx, Sulvasu, Laneige, etc. So Korean, everything Korean is really, really hot, right? Everything Korean is very hot. Korean soap stars, Korean movies, Korean food, everything's hot. So Korean brands are really hot. So we've just recently acquired a brand called, where is that? It's not in this list. Oh, it's so new. It is so new that it's not in the list here. So we'll put it in the list. But we acquired a brand called Style Nanda by 3CE, which is a Korean fashion brand and also cosmetics brand. Interestingly, the woman who's now running 3CE used to be the general manager of consumer products for L'Oreal in Indonesia. Some of you might have met her. I don't know. She was Korean, so now we've exported her back to Korea, and she's running our Korean brand over there. So that's the list of our brands. We are number one in the world because we sell beauty and offer beauty products to consumers in all channels, in all locations, wherever they want to buy beauty products. So if you walk out of here and outside somewhere there is a pasar and you go to a small toko, you will find a L'Oreal product over there. You will find Garnier Color Naturals Chat Rambut, maybe 3 or 4 shades in sachet. You'll find Sabun Cuci Muka. You'll find Garnier Men. You'll find maybe some L'Oréal Paris products, so everything will be there. But at the same time, if you go to Paris Van Java, everyone knows Paris Van Java, Sogo over there. If you go there, you will find our products over there. You will find Lancôme, you'll find Kiehl's, you'll find all our brands over there. You open your phone and go to Sochola.com, and you will find our products over there. You go to a Guardian or a Watson's, and you'll find our products over there. You go to the airport, and you go to duty free, and you will find our products over there. So we sell our products everywhere because, again, it starts with where does the consumer want to engage with our products? Where does the consumer want to engage in beauty and buy beauty? And that's where we sell everywhere in all channels. We are present all over the world. Like I said before, there is not a country where I have been to. I've been to some very strange places. Not Iran. There are stranger places I have gone to. And wherever I go and tell people I work for L'Oréal, everyone knows L'Oréal. It's a brand with universal recognition because we are present everywhere in the world. We have a very long-term business model. We've been growing a lot, but since we're talking innovation, I'm not going to tell you about our sales. Let's move on. Okay, so talking about consumer centricity. What is consumer centricity? For us, consumer centricity is basically, if I put it in simple terms, is listening to the consumer, talking to the consumer, and understanding what she's doing. Constantly being in touch with the consumer and understanding her. And besides the slides, I'm going to tell you a few things which are not on the slides, so please pay attention. We all know Indonesia is changing, right? Indonesia is changing, Asia is changing very fast. Europe, things don't change. My European friends tell me 20 years ago Europe was like this. Today it's the same. Nothing changes in Europe. In Asia, 20 days ago things were different. Today something is different. So everything is changing. Right? A few years ago, there was Gojek. Today there was Ojek. Today there is Gojek. A few years ago, there were no food delivery. Now there is food delivery. Now there is Ruang Guru. Now there is Halodoc. Things are changing a lot. So let's take focus on our business. Okay. If I look at this room 20 years ago, this room would have looked different. Why? Most of the women in this room would not be wearing the hijab 20 years ago. Okay. Today, more and more women are wearing the hijab. We have the data between 2000 and let's say 2010 to now, about 50% more women are wearing the hijab. So today in Indonesia, 68% of women are wearing the hijab. If I go and say this to anyone outside of Indonesia who does not know anything about Indonesia and say, today 68% of women are wearing the hijab, the words that come to their mind are, oh, women are becoming more conservative, women are becoming more traditional, which means less women will be using makeup, less women will be using fashionable clothes, less women will be working, less women will be entrepreneurs, because that's the whole thing, right? The hijab means tradition, means woman stays at home, woman is the mother, caregiver, and that's it, okay? And all these things are wrong. Everything is wrong. In Indonesia, there are more women entrepreneurs than there are men entrepreneurs. 56% of entrepreneurs are women in Indonesia. Victory to woman power. More women have bank accounts in Indonesia than men. More women have debit cards in Indonesia than men. More women take loans from banks than men. When the woman starts wearing the hijab, oh, by the way, sorry, there are more women in colleges than men. There are more women in high school than men. So the point about Indonesian women are traditional, so they are at home, blah, 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 is all wrong. Point number 2, woman wears the hijab, so she will use less makeup, less beauty care. Wrong. The woman starts wearing the hijab, her consumption of skincare, her consumption of makeup, her consumption of hair management products goes up by 30%. Okay? And hold your breath. Women start wearing the hijab, they start putting more hair color. Can you believe it? No one could believe it. No one. No one could believe it. Our hair color business was growing and everyone's saying, how is it possible? More women are wearing the hijab, so they will not color their hair. Wrong. Wrong. Okay? Imagine this. Imagine, pardon me, but bar here, wants to color her hair in blue. This is the latest fashion. She wants to color her hair in blue. If she is not wearing the hijab and she colors her hair in blue, for the next 2 weeks, everyone's going to ask her, what happened? Blue color? Wow, good, bad, different? Everyone's going to ask her. But when she's wearing the hijab, no one knows. She's enjoyed the blue color for herself and her family and her friends, and no one else in the world needs to know. It's a private enjoyment, it's private indulgence. No one needs to know. That's exactly what our consumers are telling us. Our consumers are telling us, I am coloring hair for myself and my family and my near and dear ones. I don't need to show the whole world. Now that I am in the privacy of this hijab, I can do whatever I want under the hijab with different styles, different colors, different whatever, and I don't need to connect with what's happening in the world. The women are also telling us that once I start wearing the hijab, I need to make sure that the color of the hijab and what color I'm wearing on the face is all matching, kind of my face looks better, and so they're using more makeup. And of course, e-commerce is helping that. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Now, how do we know all this? We know all this because we are talking to consumers. How do I know all this? Because I'm talking to consumers. We have a panel of hijab wearers who we are in touch with. They are beauty experts, they are young consumers, and we constantly talk to them and understand how things are going. So the learning that I want you to take out of this is, if you really want to stay ahead of the game in any business, please talk to your consumers, understand what your consumers are saying. So I've said all this, so I'm not going to talk more about this. Digital innovation, very important about what we are doing. So we've now gone to a digital-first mindset. There was a time when L'Oreal and most consumer products companies were a TV-first mindset. So we first made a product, then we made a television advertisement, and then we said, okay, now we will make everything else out of the television advertisement. Today, it's totally different. Today, it starts with the idea, it starts with digital first, and then it goes into several other things. We still make television advertising, but it's not the fulcrum of what we want to do. Okay. We are also inventing the future of beauty. So we have incubators, open innovation and events. Of course, 3 of your friends are going to see in Paris, all of this themselves, and they will be participating in this themselves for 3 months, so they will know, and they will come back and tell you the stories of how Paris was very cold, for sure, because they're going in December, but Paris was great fun, and Paris is very romantic, and Paris is Paris. So, my favorite city in the world. Okay, so why have we embarked on this large-scale digital transformation? Of course, the digital is the mother of all transformations. It's changing the human race. I go out walking. I wake up at about 4 in the morning, and I take my dogs for a walk every morning. Okay? And there in the corner, there is this Jaga who's sitting over there. He's sitting like this in the corner by the house, and he has something in his hand. What is that? That's a phone. He has 3 things in his hand. He has a phone, there's a coffee by the side, and he has a cigarette in his hand. And that tells you what's going on in Indonesia. At 4 o'clock in the morning, what are people doing? They're consuming coffee. It's a bad thing they're consuming tobacco. Please don't smoke. And they're consuming the internet. So digital is changing the way things are happening. A few years ago, you could not consume media at 4 in the morning. There was nothing playing on TV. But today you have audience of one and you have everything on demand, so everything's happening on your own. So it's a big transformation. So there are things that are happening here which we need to. There's dominance of Google and Facebook. How many of you here are on Facebook? Oh, come on, don't lie to me. I'm sure everyone here is on Facebook. And everyone here is on Instagram. By the way, half of Indonesia is on Facebook. Half. 130 million active users on Facebook in Indonesia. That is half the population. Indonesia is the 4th largest country for Facebook in the world. And of course, Google is for everything in life. Should I get married? I'll ask Google. Everything is asking Google nowadays. And of course, the new economy of algorithms, that's what I told you earlier. Depending on who you are and what you do, the algorithm serves up what you want to see or what you should see. And experience economy, new media, and convergence, all this is coming together and changing the way we do our business. So how are we adopting to it? We have, of course, immersive media. We are using AI and customization to develop our products. We are using the experience economy to drive experiential indulgence of our products. We are integrating with media, and we are trying omni-channel technology. Of course, this is a little new for Indonesia yet, voice recognition, but face recognition is already here, and you will hear a little bit about that in a bit. So, digital spends have grown in Indonesia. This is very important. So I spoke to you about the fact that what you see depends on what you are buying, what you have been buying. And we've been pioneering some new technology with Shopee, which I will, give me a minute, sorry. Okay, let me go here first. For those of you who have an internet connection, go to kiels.co.id. You see the Kiels on there, KIEHLS.co.id. When you go there, you will see this logo at the bottom. Okay? If you click on that logo, you will be connected to someone called a KCR, a Kiels customer representative. That is not a chat bot. It is not a robot. It is a real human being sitting in the L'Oreal office in Jakarta who will start talking to you. Now she's going to be overwhelmed with chats from Bandung. And suddenly our brand manager is going to say, wow, Bandung, there's a lot of demand, let me go. By the way, the Kiels brand manager, her son is possibly here in the room, or he does study in ITB. So hello to you wherever you are. So this is a new thing that we are doing. We are using WhatsApp to connect with consumers. And again, this is both technology and consumer connectivity. Indonesians are a very community-driven people, right? We like our communities, we like conversations, we like to eat together, we like gossip, we like chat, etc., etc. So buying online has transformed into creating that experience of the Indonesian community by talking to a real person. So this is the person who will really chat with you, and she will chat with you in the real consumer way. So that's shoppable media from Kiels. I will skip this. This is very important. So we are a beauty care company, and we sell lipsticks and face creams and all that. And then 2 years ago, we bought a company called Modiface. Okay? What Modiface does is, Modiface is a company that has mapped the human face and used technology to develop products based on the human face and recognize human face, facial recognition, etc. So one would think, why did we buy that technology? So again, if you open the Shopee app and type L'Oréal Paris over there, you'll get a few lipstick advertisements. Click on one of the lipsticks, and over there, you will see, do we have the slide for that? Let me just check. Hold on. Yes, that one. Sorry. Go back. Sorry, pardon me. So Magic Mirror. So you go to either Lazada or to Shopee, and it will ask you over here, Coba Sekarang or something like that. There'll be a place to click on it. I would strongly encourage the men to do it in particular, because it's quite funny to see yourself wearing a lipstick on the phone. So click on that and point your face to the phone, and you will see how the lipstick will look on your face. Only the lips will be colored. Okay? And this is technology that is called the Modiface technology, which we've bought. We bought that technology, and Indonesia was one of the first countries to take it on board with Shopee and Lazada, and we are also using it with YouTube VR to create this. So imagine this. We can use the same technology for hair color. We can use the same technology for acne. We can use the same technology for lipstick, for eyebrows, for mascara, for anything. We can use this technology for a whole, let's say, bridal look. Okay? Every one of you here will, for sure get married one day or the other. You'll want to check out how the look is going to look. You go and select what look you want, look in the mirror, and bang, it's there. You can see how you're going to look. So it's a great technology, and by the time things happen, things will be even more advanced. So this is something that we've been using. And besides the 600 goodie bags, there's another surprise that's coming your way from Shopee, but I will not break the surprise, so you have to stay on to listen to it. So that's, So that's a little bit about how we've been transforming ourselves. I think we are almost towards the end of what I'm going to talk about. So start thinking about your questions, because we need you to give us your questions. But besides that, if you are to remember just a few things from this lecture, okay? The first thing I would ask you to remember is to be consumer-centric. Do not start with a product. Everyone knows of a company called Gojek. Yes? Everyone knows Gojek, okay? Why did Gojek start? Gojek started because Nadeem was focused on two people, the driver and the rider. And he saw that both of them had a problem. What was the problem? The riders were waiting for too long to get a customer. They would come and stand together till customers came, and then they would go. And sometimes the customers were waiting for too long because it's raining or it's peak time and you're standing there and there are no riders. So imagine this. Over there's a pool of riders. Over here, there's a pool of customers. Both of them are sitting empty, not doing anything. So he realized that there was a problem and he wanted to solve for the convenience of the drivers and the convenience of the consumers. He realized that he didn't start off by saying, I want to make an app for the drivers. He did not start off by saying, I want to make an app for ordering food. He started with a real consumer problem. I go to the place where there is the Gojek stand and there are no Gojeks. Can there be a simpler solution? So first, start with the consumer. Second, don't be afraid to break what is working. Because just because it's working today does not mean it will work tomorrow. In fact, because it is working today, you can almost be guaranteed it will not work tomorrow. Right? The world is changing at a very fast pace. Consumers will change, consumers will transform. If you stay, there's a phrase which our bosses use all the time. If you stand in the middle of the road, you will get run over by a car. Right? So you have to take a stand, you have to be ready to break what's not working. And the third point I would talk about is the whole power of technology. The power of technology to transform. And the power of technology to transform everything that is there around us. It has transformed everything, starting from beauty care to food, to transportation, to banking, to everything. So the power of technology can be used to solve for consumer problems. And that power is available with you today. We did not have that power when we graduated from Institute. I used to make my presentations on transparencies. Do you all know what is a transparency? Have you ever seen a transparency? I don't think they've seen a transparency. So we used to make presentations. Some people here are smiling because of transparencies. We didn't even have computers till I graduated. I used my computer first time when I joined my first job. So computers were a luxury at that time. So things have changed. So please continue to learn and be relevant. So I'm going to show you a video, which is the video of one of our colleagues who works with us. He works in the digital marketing department. Absolutely brilliant guy. In fact, if we have an opportunity, we could send him over to teach digital marketing here to the students, and that'll be, I'm sure you guys will benefit a lot from learning from him. So this is Fabian. Meet Fabian. He's one of our best in Indonesia.
My name is Fabian. How do we be able to make digital, in all our efforts on digital, to give a business impact? Social listening project. We believe that digital became lubricants of the transformation to listen to our consumers better, to be able to understand what consumer wants, and trying to be able to understand on how we are doing on the digital space. Hashtag agile, hashtag collaborations, hashtag challenging, hashtag driven, hashtag self-learning. So one is about the agility, to be able to keep up with the pace of the market. Second is to be able to make a business impact coming out of our digital efforts, because we do a lot of things, but we need to be able to see on how it impacted the whole business. Lastly is about trying to be able to have the right people in the right place to be able to help on building the whole digital ecosystem itself. Is that the entrepreneurial spirit? Because on digital, you need to keep on innovating, you need to keep on moving, or else you're going to be outpaced by other competitors. So I think the entrepreneurial spirit within L'Oréal helps me to be able to accelerate even faster and to be able to keep up with the pace of the market. We are fast, and we are about to become the #1 beauty tech company in the world. It's a 100-meter sprint. We are running fast. We are innovating fast. It's a very exciting journey.
So I love Fabian. He spoke about the 100-meter sprint, but how many of you here know there is something called a climbing competition? Anyone knows there is a climbing competition? Do you know which country holds the world record? Right. What did we hear? Which country holds the world record? Indonesia holds the world record. Okay, so last week, I'm sure many of you saw the video. I saw it, and I was, stunned. And then I showed it to my daughter, who was stunned. And since then, I must have watched that video, I don't know how many times. So I have one, okay, hold on. So I have a dream, I have a dream for Indonesia. I have a dream for all of you. And I think this video here brings to life that dream. The dream that Indonesia will remain grounded in tradition, will remain grounded in what it stands for, and at the same time, it will leap towards modernity, it will leap towards highest success, it will leap very fast into the future and become one of the greatest powers in the world. And you guys have the power to do that. And to inspire you, here's your fellow Indonesian. Can we play the video, please?
Eri Susanto on the left, Yiling Song on the right. They've both been within 5.
Watch the video. Watch what happens to competition.
Today. Both got away well, but
where is competition?
Stumbled almost immediately.
Where is competition?
She's going absolutely full tilt. She's breaking the world record. Eri Susanto, the first woman of the 7 seconds in the history.
And and for those of you who didn't see it, her finger was injured. Her finger was injured, and yet she was able to do this. Okay? I showed this to my coach, and he's a 70-year-old French man who used to fly fighter jets. He looked at the video first. He saw it 4 times, and then he looked at me and said, Umesh, this girl is a representation of the Indonesian woman. She's wearing the hijab, she's of petite build, she has what you can think of as, so many things holding her back. Her finger is injured, she's from, Indonesia, blah, 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 and nothing can hold her down. She's ready to fly. She's ready to become Spider-Woman. And that's what I would leave you with. That is the ambition you want to keep in your mind. Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a great time speaking to you. Q&A?
Yes, thank you very much of your presentation. This is proof that not only women, but also men can be a beauty enthusiast. I really agree that we should to transforming in a good way, and I sure that they have prepared many questions for you. Let's jump to the Q&A session. Don't forget to mention name and name. Okay. Want to ask? Okay.
Just walk over. The mic is there. Just walk over to the question. Walk over to the mic and.
Okay, Mas
yang
itu, Mbak. Ya boleh.
Antri dulu.
Antri. And
Mohon
3 questions first,
antrian. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, thank you for picking me from the crowd. My name is...
louder, please.
Maybe speak in the mic.
Okay, my name is Reza. Name is 133-16037.
Okay.
Okay. I have a question actually. You talk about a lot about listening to the customer, but I also have heard a lot about whispering things to the customer.
Yeah.
Like, my point is, other than listening to the customer, I've also heard about changing what the customer wants.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of talk about the cosmetic industry and the fashion industry changing what women or everyone wants to be, so shifting from what they are to what they should be.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? Is that true or is it not as a representation of the cosmetic industry?
Okay.
Also, and then how do you actually go about doing that? Like, how do you convince the people that we are for you while selling products that alter the way you look?
Okay.
And also, like, how do you support that movement of being yourself while your products are also like, you know for a fact that the products you sell are for altering your own self. How do you go about that?
Okay. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Can we hear a couple of questions and then I'll answer all of them together? Okay, go ahead. Dark Side of the Moon, my favorite album.
Saya Sally, pakai bahasa Indonesia aja.
Yeah.
Saya Sally, NIM-nya 157-16002 dari Prodiril. Mau bertanya, yang kita tahu sebenarnya India itu merupakan penghasil mika yang terbesar di dunia. Dan mika yang digunakan, mika itu merupakan bahan pembuatan kosmetik shimmer. Nah, sekarang banyak isu di India mengenai perbudakan anak. Mengenai perbudakan anak-anak berusia 14 sampai 15 tahun, kira-kira umur segitu. Nah, yang ingin saya tanyakan adalah apakah L'Oreal merupakan brand yang bebas dari masalah perbudakan tersebut? Dan kalau iya, bagaimana L'Oreal dapat memastikan masalah itu? L'Oreal dapat memastikan bahwa L'Oreal di semua negara bebas dari perbudakan, dan sebagai Bapak Umesh yang sebagai seorang warga negara India, bagaimana menanggapi hal tersebut? Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Same thing, right? Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. My name is Noval. The student number is 102 103 0 102 17 023. Okay.
Okay, that's better. That's better.
My English of number is quite bad. I like to ask something, Mr. Umesh. I just read an article from the Jakarta Post. It says that Indonesian women are obsessed of being white skin. Yeah. So it even says that average cosmetics only carry 4 shades of foundation. What is foundation? I don't know.
Okay.
I would like to ask, based on your data, it is true or not, and if it's true, I would like to request that L'Oreal make products that shows the beauty of Indonesian woman naturally. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. 3 questions first.
Last question first.
Last one. Okay.
Why don't you ask your question and then I'll answer all of them together.
Hello, my name is Haidar. My student number is 13616-037.
Okay.
And my question is, as we know that L'Oreal is a huge brand in internationally. So, and we know too that L'Oreal also sells their products in China. And recently there is controversy surrounding the foreign company in China, such as MBA, where some kind of employee expressed their
support
to Hong Kong. And how does L'Oreal comply with Chinese market, or especially comply with Chinese Communist Party?
Okay.
That's my question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Right. As you've probably seen, my name is Raj.
Raise the mic, yes.
Yep.
I know how tall people feel.
My name is Raj. My student number is 130-16058. And my question is, as you've probably seen, any kind of waste, whether it's plastic or organic, is a problem in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And has L'Oreal been taking any steps towards sustainability in terms of their packaging and energy use in your plants?
Okay.
That is all.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
So let me summarize the questions. First, there was Indonesian women want to be white. Ivy's promoting that, and the thing about foundation. There was the question by her about mica from India and the use of child labor, etc., etc. There's a question about the Chinese controversy and how L'Oreal deals with that. Did I miss something? Sorry? The one about plastic and sustainability. And there were 3 questions from you. about trying to change the way women look. Okay, good. So first, let me handle the easy. All the questions are easy, so let me handle the let me handle the mica one first. So first, we do not buy any products or do not engage any supplier that has any unethical practices. It's not just child labor, there could be any other things. You could employ adults and not pay them the BPJS, not pay them the right wage, not pay them minimum wage, not treat them properly, make them work. There could be 100 different things. You could pay everyone properly, but your workplace might be unsafe, your workplace might not be healthy, you might make people do more overtime. So there are 100 different things. We hear only a few things, but there are 100 different things that companies could do wrong. What L'Oreal does is, all the people that work with us, or all the suppliers that supply products for us, have to go through something called a social audit. And that social audit is done by a team sitting in Paris, which does this completely independent, and we are not involved in it. They do it independently. There's a very thick scorecard on which everyone is measured, everything is checked. And this social audit is not done one time and then kept away. It has to be repeated every 4 years to make sure that the company is following the laws. That's number one. So we do not work with anyone who is breaking the law or doing something unethical. About children in particular, you heard from Ba that I'm personally very passionate about children's education, and I've supported a few movements and all that. I can give you an example. In the L'Oreal India factory, and India is a significantly poorer country compared to Indonesia. So there are a lot of poor people, and what happens with the poor people is they go to work, the children go to work with them, or the children go and become street, pamulung. They're picking up waste from the road, and the children don't go to school. What L'Oreal did was, for the area where our factory is located, we found a slum, and we've created a school in that slum. So the kids from that slum now go to that school and are educated over there. And I think we started with 40 kids, and now there are 150 kids or something like that. I could come back to you with the numbers. So we are doing that. So that's number one. Second point about sustainability, today's lecture was about innovation. I could give a whole lecture on sustainability and what L'Oreal is doing to become a more sustainable company. Our plant in Jababeka uses only green energy. We've been awarded by the Jababeka Industrial Estate as the first factory to take green electricity, which is hydroelectricity, and we pay more money to get that electricity. We could get cheaper electricity, which is from coal-fired plants, but we don't. We get the more expensive electricity because we want to be green. We have a self-composting pit in the factory to get rid of waste, and we have a whole host of scientific goals and all that. So I could spend a lot of time on talking about that, but we are. I would encourage you to go to our website, L'Oreal.com, or to L'Orealfinance.com, and see all the efforts we've taken on sustainability. Then the question about Indonesian women want to be white and blah, 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 blah. Okay. First is, the ideal of what is beautiful is defined by the consumer. That is not my job. Okay? How the consumer wants to look, whether she wants to wear a gray hijab or she wants to wear a hijab by Dian Pelangi, which is really powerful, bright and colorful, that's her choice. Whether she wants to wear a red lipstick or whether she does not want to wear lipstick, that's her choice. Whether she wants to use foundation or not, that's her choice. I offer her products that meet her beauty needs. I do not want to use your phrase, whisper to her and say, you should be white. No. For me, the diverse skin tones of Indonesia are all beautiful. So if you go to our website, Lancome.com, on Lancome.com, you will see an African model, you will see an American model, you will see Julia Roberts, you will see an Asian model, you will see everyone. And we believe all of them are beautiful. Another example I can give you is we have a foundation from Maybelline called Fit Me. And the whole point is, the selling line of Fit Me is Fit Untuk Semua. Okay, we have 26 shades of Maybelline Fit Me in Indonesia, which will suit women no matter where they are from Aceh to Papua and everything in the middle, all women of Indonesia must be able to enjoy the foundation and not to change the color of their skin, but to enhance who they are and how they look. Okay? Now, about whispering to consumer, I have a different take on it. Sometimes consumers don't know what is available or what is the possibility in the realm of technology. Sometimes consumers do not know what is the latest that is available and how things can be transformed. 2007, one company launched a mobile phone without a keyboard. You know which company that was? That was Apple. Okay? And for many years, my bosses didn't use the iPhone because they said, oh, on touching on glass, I can't work on glass. Then, when they started moving to the iPhone, they would buy a keyboard for it separately. They would attach a keyboard because they were used to something called a BlackBerry. Everyone knows a BlackBerry? BBM? BlackBerry was hot and BlackBerry had a keyboard. So they would attach the keyboard to it. But, you know, Steve Jobs could have invented the phone with a keyboard. There's a book called The One Device. Please write that down. If it's not available in the library, please buy the book and read it. It is about how the iPhone has transformed the world. It's called The One Device. Okay? So Steve Jobs could have invented a phone with a keyboard and said, everyone wants a keyboard, let's give them a keyboard. But he decided that no, the consumers don't necessarily know what is possible, and he invented the iPhone. I think that is a much better representation of what could be whispered to the consumers. Then, what, did I miss anything? Did I miss any questions? No. Okay. A few more.
For more?
Yeah, sure. I have time.
Okay, good morning, sir. My name is Anitya Bayumurti, 120170448. And first of all, I want to say thank you for your Studium Generale. It's probably the best Studium Generale that I've been attending this matter. And I want to ask, one thing that I got from this Studium Generale is that we have to keep changing, we have to keep adapting to the changes that around us, so that we keep innovating, we keep evolving. But I think keep changing is also not a good thing, because that means that we doesn't have a good idealism, not hold tight in our idealism. But being too idealist is not also good, just like Kodak who keep their idealism. One thing that amazed me from L'Oreal is that L'Oreal is still keep innovating, is still keep changing, but not lose its identity, not lose its color. So I want to ask what your advice is for us as a human being to be just like L'Oreal.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Nadia Husna. I'm from Kriya Department. My student number is 17216 and 20. Is it okay if I use bahasa?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Pertanyaan, tadi saya mendengar bahwa L'Oreal mengeluarkan produk dengan kemasan saset untuk mengejar segmentasi pasar menengah ke bawah. Nah, bagaimana dampak dari kemasan saset tersebut terhadap lingkungan, sedangkan tadi kemasan saset tersebut merupakan best selling produk dari L'Oreal. Nah, sedangkan saat ini untuk tren di pasar sendiri sedang naik daunnya konsep sustainability. Bagaimana korelasi kemasan saset tersebut terhadap konsep sustainability? Apakah ada inovasi dari L'Oreal untuk kedepannya agar menyeimbangkan konsep sustainability ini dengan segmentasi pasar yang ada di Indonesia? Dan untuk tren skincare atau make up yang ada di Indonesia saat ini, selain konsep sustainability, ada lagi konsep cruelty free, yaitu tidak menggunakan hewan sebagai bahan uji cobanya. Nah, apakah produk dari L'Oreal sudah mengikuti tren tersebut, dan jika tidak, apakah ada keinginan dari produk L'Oreal untuk mengikuti tren tersebut, karena saat ini mulai banyak produk lokal yang menggunakan cruelty free tersebut. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Kamal.
Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hi, I'm Kamal and I'm from Mathematics Department. My number is 101, 16, and 46. Well, actually, I had the same question with her, actually. Okay. So I made a new question. It's actually a funny question. Do you know what is actually the reason why the beauty company is invited by male? I just observed something on Google, and I found that Pond's is actually invented by male also, and also L'Oreal, Paragon, and I think many more. So do you know what is actually the reason why a male invented the beauty company? Is that true that actually male really care of the beauty of female more than female itself? Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, the last one.
Good morning. My name is Agnia. My student ID is 190179097. And my question is kind of similar with the first person here. She is asking about the animal testing. My question is, I know that L'Oreal is acquisited with by Body Shop. Is there a way to erase the bad association about L'Oreal who use animal testing? Or is it another way to gain more market share?
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Last one. I'm sorry, imut.
Okay, my name is Cynthia, and my student number is 190172227, and I'm from Majoring Management. First of all, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity, and I got so much insight from your talk just now. And I see that the key of sustainable business from L'Oreal is keep in innovating their products. And I'm just wondering, have L'Oreal ever failed to create an innovation, maybe new products or else that failed to be accepted by the customers? And is there any strategy implemented by the L'Oreal itself to face the failure, if any, in your business environment? Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
So let me handle the questions all together. First, animal testing. We gave up animal testing. I don't even remember when we gave up animal testing. It was probably before the 80s or something like that. So we don't do animal testing. We don't believe in that, and that's not required. We've got enough technology. We are one of the largest producers of artificial skin. We grow cultured skin in our labs, which allows us to test our skin creams and all our products, and we don't need to do animal testing. So that's completely out of the way. And if you learn one thing, it is to not believe everything you read on the internet and to do your own research, right? It's just like saying Indonesia is a country of poor people and, Indonesia is a backward country. If you read that on the internet, don't believe that. So don't believe everything you read on the internet. Make sure you do your research. And thank you for asking me the question, but I can confirm that we don't do animal testing. Then there was the question about plastic and, the fact that we are selling millions of sachets and how we are dealing with that plastic. So first, we've made a commitment that by 2025, Garnier will only use recycled plastic. So we are very fast changing all our manufacturing, all our production, all our sourcing of packing material into recycled plastic. And I am working very actively with a lot of other parties here, and Yenita, in fact, is helping me hire some people who will help us work with NGOs, with people who can help us improve our game when it comes to recycling and reducing waste and helping the environment. So this is something we are doing very actively. Then the question about failure, I can tell you we failed 150 times. Just in the 3 years I've been here, we've had quite a few product failures. We don't treat product failures as product failures. We treat product failures as something that we learn from. First, we don't go into anything blindly. We test everything, we check and all that. And after that, sometimes we get it wrong. We launch some new products and they don't work and they fail, and we have to write off the product, or we have to take it back, or we have to do stuff like that. And that's perfectly fine because we learn a lot and we keep that as a learning for what not to do in the future. That's number one. But number two, very important to remember, just because your idea failed today does not mean that your idea will fail tomorrow. Okay? The man who stopped inventing the wheel just because he did not get it right the first time would have never made the wheel. Any one of you here has been to Egypt? If you haven't been to Egypt, you will see Egypt is famous for the pyramids, correct? Now, there is a pyramid of Zoser, which is called the bent pyramid. Because Zoser started building the pyramid, and then in midway, they realized the base was too big and it was becoming too heavy. So they had to change the angle of elevation. So it's a bent pyramid. It looks like this. Just Google the bent pyramid of Zoser and you will see the bent pyramid. So the Egyptians didn't stop innovating in construction when they got the pyramid wrong the first time. First time they couldn't even raise it. They have broken pyramids. Then they got it bent. And then finally they got it right when they got it right. So just because your idea didn't work the first time doesn't mean it won't work again. And then the last question about why men are innovating for beauty care. The brands you talked about, gentlemen, are really old brands, which is when women were not in the workforce as much as they are today. Today is a gender-balanced workforce. L'Oreal is 50-50, 50% male, 50% female. So I don't think today anyone has a propriety or anyone has a higher chance of developing, or men have a higher chance of developing. We have as many female scientists, we have as many female marketers, we have as many female salespeople as we have in men, and it's equal opportunity. And I just recently met with a few innovators in Indonesia who are girls, young girls, some graduates of ITB who have started their own small cosmetics company. That's number one. And then I would like to correct you, which is Paragon, which is Warta, was founded by Ibu Nur Hayati and not by her sons. So there you go. Indonesian woman has developed a cosmetics brand. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for all the question and the answers from Mr. Umesh Phadke. But before we end the session, Miss Yanita from L'Oreal will give you some coupon.
Selamat pagi semua, saya Yanita.
One second. Before we finish, my usual.
Belum. We're not finished yet.
I have to take a selfie.
Oh, you have to take a selfie.
Okay,
Let's do it.
everyone. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Siap? 3.
Okay, thank you.
Jadi kami bawa sedikit hadiah buat teman-teman, bukan cuma goodie bags aja. Tadi kan udah coba di Shopee ada aplikasi Modiface ya. Jadi nanti kalian juga bisa kami berikan voucher yang berlaku 2 hari ke depan. Jadi kalau seandainya ada yang lagi kepengen beli sesuatu dari L'Oreal, ada voucher L'Oreal ITB bisa dicoba di Shopee. Coba-coba lipstiknya dengan Modiface dan silakan ada discount value-nya 15.000 per purchase, no minimum purchase ya. Oke, sekian terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Yanita. Apa? Games dulu. Serius? Langsung aja. Siapa namanya? Bri.
Jadi
ada games juga ya, Mbak?
Iya, sebelum kita tutup masih ada kesempatan untuk memenangkan sedikit hadiah dari L'Oreal. Bibi teman kita akan mencoba melead gamenya ya.
Gamesnya. Hore!
Hai everyone. Ini kita ada mau main Kahoot. Kalau misalkan ada 3 pemenang, yang menang akan dapat lagi goodie bag tambahan. Jadi make sure semuanya ikut ya. Masuk dulu ke www.kahoot.it. Terus masukin kodenya ya di 513892. Baru 200 nih, kita ada 600 kan ini.
Mestinya NIM ya.
L'Oreal mantap ada namanya. Ini kok banyak ya nama Pak D. Umesh, ini cuma 1 loh orangnya di sini. Kok banyak yang namanya Pak D. Umesh ya? Wah, ini namanya Umesh Phadke ya guys, bukan Umesh Pak D ya mah guys. Jangan dirubah-rubah namanya. ITB chaos ya ini. $200 lainnya ini nggak mau ikutan nih, ada goodie bag lagi loh. Wah. Ini aku countdown 10 detik ya. Habis itu kita langsung start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close ya. Di 477 player. Pertanyaan pertama. What is the first product that Eugene Schuller invents in 1907? Go, 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 go. Jawabannya Herda ya. Ini masih ada yang salah pada nggak ngedengerin presentasi ya. Lanjut pertanyaan selanjutnya. Ini siapa nih Kis? Total number of L'Oreal employees worldwide. Tadi ada loh di presentasinya.
Mau contekan?
60.000, 32.000, 100.000 atau 86.000. Iya, 86.000 ya. Next lah. Menangkan. Nah, beauty for all, L'Oreal is offering all individuals worldwide the best cosmetic innovation. True or false? True ya guys. Oh, dilewatin Artezi mulai memimpin nih. There are 3 tips from L'Oreal to stay relevant. Which one is the wrong option? Is the wrong ya?
It easy one.
Iya, fokusin on profit ya. Masih ada loh yang jawab consumer centric. How many brands managed by L'Oreal Indonesia? By L'Oreal Indonesia aja ya, not worldwide. Ada 15 brand. Kalau worldwide kita ada 36 brand. Artezi masih memimpin ya. In 2018, which operational division has the best sales? Which one has the best sales? CPD, LLD, or luxury? Bingung ya? Ya, yang benar consumer product division. which one is not the practice of consumer centricity? Tadi udah dijelasin sama Pak Umesh ya. Ya, jawabannya focusing only on company development. Kita harus fokusnya ke consumer. Oh, Albert. Nah, the first technology that we acquired in 2018 is ini yang tadi kalian cobain itu loh guys. Ya, Modiface yang di Shopee, Lazada. Albert, sekarang memimpin ya Albert. In Indonesia, through which platform you could experience the technology? Baru aku sebutin tadi kayak 2. Yang bukan ya, nih. Yeay, Shopee udah bener ya. Yang terakhir, ini pertanyaan terakhir nih, yang menentukan semuanya. What is L'Oreal Indonesia Instagram account? Jawabannya L'Oreal Indonesia ya. Jangan lupa di follow loh guys, kalian bisa tahu tentang produk terbaru, careers juga dari sini. Yeay, pemenangnya Albert Artezi and Albert 034. Boleh maju ke depan ini buat 3 pemenangnya.
Albert Artezi sama Albert 034.
Untuk Artezi, Albert sama Albert 034.
Silakan. Ke depan aja di sini.
Ke depan sini aja.
Kok laki-laki semua? Silakan naik ke panggung.
Kok laki-laki semua ini beauty enthusiast semua ya?
Congratulations for all of you.
Congratulations ya.
Okay, once again, thank you very much for all the insight through your presentation, Mr. Umesh Phadke, and let's give a big applause for him.
To Mr. Umesh Phadke, please remain on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, to commemorate this event, Institut Teknologi Bandung would like to present a memento for the speaker, Mr. Umesh Phadke. We would like to kindly invite Vice Rector of Research and Organization of Institut Teknologi Bandung, Professor Irawati, to give the memento. Next, PT L'Oreal Indonesia would like to present the memento for Institut Teknologi Bandung. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, public lecture on digital beauty technology has come to an end. Thank you for your attention. Good afternoon and have a good day.